Penn State is going to serve to begin this one. For the first time in a Big Ten regular season game, Penn State at Washington. Early swing for Emmy Selman. Now Markley against her former team. Kirsten Barton was their leading point scorer against Oregon as well. Barton took a whack at it, and something that Katie Wessels has been doing well lately, scoring more.
Pretty good first rally start off the game. I think it was highlighted by a lot of that Penn State defense. That's something Coach Katie Schumacher-Colley has said has been a real focus for her team. It's just making more plays and off to a hot start.
It's a left side swing for Kennedy Martin. That's a little cut shot from Barton to the floor.
This is a good little chip shot by Kirsten Barton. Not her normal big rip, but sometimes that's all you need to catch the team a little off guard like she did on that one.
So Alexis Howry with another serve. Nice dig by Hurd, right back to Barton, who is dug by Jillian Grimes. Howry hits the deck. Out of system, Markley takes it over her shoulder. And it's one setter ready for the other right there. And Markley going down the line, Grimes with the dig. Mendelson tips, another lengthy point. Barton a high swing, gets a touch, and Washington.
It's important to slow down that Penn State right side attack. We have Kennedy Martin on the right, and also Maggie Mendelson sometimes swinging off of two on the right. So going to be really important to just slow down offensive numbers from the right side.
You're the one that is scoring from the right side, Annie Drews, but how would you try and slow down someone that's as potent as Kennedy Martin?
You just gotta look at the trends on what they're doing in film. I'm sure that they've studied her a lot this week, and try and take away the shot that she's most comfortable with. Make her hit what she doesn't want to. That's how we typically force a few more errors out of our opponents. And I would funnel a lot to Zoria Hurd, the way she's been playing defense.
Hitter coverage by the Huskies there. This is Martin.
Nice high swing there off the block. Good effort by the Huskies. Just short, but man, if this is what we're at before 5 points, we're going to need some oxygen in here. We've seen some nice rallies from the jump.
Get that great Friday night crowd in Alaska Airlines Arena as well. Martin handles the serve and gets the attack. And Juravicius with a mishit out of system. Caroline Juravicius, who emerged as the season went along last year at right side and became a crucial player towards Penn State's NCAA championship, this year has to switch positions to outside.
Definitely not something easy to do, but when you have a player like Kennedy Martin, you make some space.
You have to do it.
You have to put your best players on the court, and Gervasius and Martin, for sure, both deserve to be on the court in some capacity, and Penn State's capitalizing on that.
That's a point for Maggie Mendelson, the Nebraska transfer in the middle. Of course, Martin came over as a transfer this year from Florida, transferred late in the process. She was the nation's leading point scorer last season. This year is number 2. Markley, big time swing. And what's that type of motivation, would you imagine, against her former team?
I can imagine the adrenaline is just pumping. You know, you can have so much respect for a team, you can leave on the best of terms, but it's got to be exciting just playing against your old program, your old coaches. But it is, like you said, AJ, a lot of new faces on this Penn State team.
Juravicius tries to take it down the line and misses. Now Markley, she was on the all Big Ten freshman team originally for Penn State. Saw her playing time decrease in recent seasons. She actually graduated from Penn State in 3 years and transferred to Washington as a grad transfer, but in her 4th year of eligibility, as Martin is blocked. Washington getting to Kennedy Martin early with the rejection.
Blocking's one of the strengths of this Washington team. I will say I think this is maybe a swing she brought down a little low, but anything coming that far off the net, you'd like to see some coverage there by her teammates.
Another big wallop from Markley.
One thing I like about Markley swinging is she swings deep into the court. She's swinging for sidelines, for end lines. Never a bad idea.
Katie Schumacher-Cauley certainly aware of Markley heading into this one, saying that nobody knows her better than Katie. That Markley is a great blocker. They're going to be cognizant of that. But Coach Schumacher-Cauley, what a story. Last year, battling cancer, declared cancer-free more recently, but leading her team during that battle to a national championship. Just and inspirational as over the top, Simona Mateska, the freshman from Serbia, is down to the floor.
This is the second chip shot down the line we've seen score already this early for the Huskies. First one by Kirsten Barton. But when you have an opposite like Kennedy Martin in the back row for Penn State, you're going to maybe have her come up for tips so she can stay off the floor ready to swing, and that corner's going to be open.
A nice play by Ava Faldudo, the defensive specialist, but Hunt scores on the slide. This year, I'm sure one of them is they're getting everybody's best shot to serve. Assertive swing by Kirsten Barton, the junior from Chandler, Arizona.
Penn State was there early digging that, and she's just moving the ball around really nicely.
Off to a 3-for-9 start to lead Washington in kills. Nobody for Penn State yet has more than one kill. That's a nice connection from Addie Lyon.
Penn State got in that lull with Mendelson out. They really have to capitalize when she's in the game and in that front row.
3-1 since then. Their only loss against Nebraska. So the Huskies playing well, coming in and continuing that against Kennedy Martin.
Okay, maybe they haven't had such a strong season, but losing to only ranked opponents is pretty impressive. And like we've talked about,
all their losses have come to teams above 500. All their wins have come to teams below 500 in Big Ten play. So this would be a big one for the Huskies against a ranked opponent as Juravicius tips Howry, the sophomore setter. Back set to Barton. Hitting right side in this rotation. Martin is roofed again. Washington has been ready for the reigning National Player of the Week. And
it's easy for a team that's good at blocking to capitalize in a situation like that.
Her numbers are up a little bit from last year. She was all-conference second team. This is a joust. The length of Mendelson winning that one, but Washington defends it. Second ball from Hurd. It's Markley. And on the tight dig, a little bit close to the net, became a difficult set for Lyon.
You know, that's not how volleyball is played. You can't play that way for 2.5 hours, but man, when you've got it, ride it.
I didn't realize this was going 2.5 hours.
Well,
has won 3 in a row coming in. They were looking as good as anybody coming into this match, but
I like that she's swinging high. Penn State is a really tall team, and that's the error you want to make if you're going up against girls who are 6'4", 6'5". You want to swing deep and out the back of the court.
Great dig by Zoria Hurd. Wasn't as good a touch there, but get it to Mateska, who has a nice swing off the block and out.
5 blocker, but we see her just coming into that swing with a lot more confidence.
It feels like Washington is funneling their defense well to Hurd.
I mean, when you're wrist down like that, wrist away from the ball, it's hard to get defenders there when you can cut it that sharp.
Off the antenna for Martin.
I think if you're Penn State at this point, it's really about just regrouping. It's not about one skill or one player. It's just how do we take a collective breath and reset for set 2, because there's a lot of game left.
Nice set against the flow, and Markley off the edge. Washington more than doubles up Penn State in the first. That's an ace serve, though, sorely needed.
And servers, you know, they throw it real high and they spin it around. This is a hybrid. It's a float.
How do you try and create enough space for her and keep her fresh as well?
You know, Katie Schumacher-Collier said she'll take 100 swings if she has to, but that's something they've had to work on. They've had to manage and they've had to really work with.
The kill by Mateska, that timeout paid off for the Huskies. Key side out. Grimes takes the second ball, gives it to Martin out of system. Washington defends it, and it is caught right to the middle.
Over into that no man's land, and it's really hard to know whose ball that is or to time it and get that up.
Now, is that a little bit of offense by accident there? Nice dig by Hurd. I'm going to ask you a follow-up there. Big point for the Huskies, though, as Barton hits the floor.
All levels of volleyball aren't calling as much as they used to, but on your way down, you almost have to fluff it. Coach Karai would call it a low-calorie solution. Really sell it and then just kind of drop your hand and let it wisp off of it and let it just fall right over those blockers.
By the way, sign me up for as many Karch-isms as you want to incorporate in the broadcast. That one is off the sideline, and this from Martin.
But he has his Karch-isms, his things that he repeats often, but he repeats them often because they're important and they're timeless and they work. Even now watching stuff, I find myself repeating little things I've heard thousands of times.
Hey, her debut last week at University of Oregon on the Big Ten Network commentary team. We'll also see you tomorrow when Penn State takes on Oregon in Eugene.
Fortunately, it's just errors for Penn State. That puts them almost at 20 errors for the match if you count reception errors as well. And it's hard to win a game to 25 when you're dealing with a double-digit error number.
His 5th set appearance of the season.
But this is something Katie Schumacher-Collier talked about, is confidence in her littles, is what she said, or her defensive specialists, the people who sub in to make a defensive or serve reception difference. And she said that they're really kind of the backbone of the team at the moment. They're just keeping Penn State alive.
Oh, traffic jam. Good that type of night for Penn State.
A lot of people, but Katie Schumacher-Collier said she's proud of this team, and she really thinks everyone is stepping up and everyone is capable of contributing.
But a team that's playing well coming in Penn State. And Washington has summarily dismissed Penn State from the first couple of sets. Go for a reverse sweep would be its best hope. Barton was dug by Jocelyn Nathan. Alexis Ewing got put in a tough spot tight to the net. Back to Barton, one-handed attempted, spin the ball out, and Kirsten Barton delivers. For Penn State, that was something that changed, though, from early on. Washington was controlling the play at the net early. A lot of those Penn State hitting errors were times when they got stuffed. Hasn't been as much the case recently. Service error.
It definitely feels like we haven't seen a lot of stuff blocks as the game's gone on. It felt like, part of that serendipitous flow that Washington was in set 1 and 2 included some pretty big stuffs, but it's normally a big skill for the Huskies. It's been a little quiet tonight.
As good as the middles have been offensively for Penn State, that's been a problem all year for them. They're last in the conference in blocks per set.
Which is surprising for their size, but when you have hitters who are putting up these numbers, maybe your focus is just more looking at the game offensively.
Great hitter coverage moment for Penn State there. That prevented a stuff block. Bird takes a second ball, sautés it over for Kirsten Barton. There's the stuff block.
Them over, and Washington just goes straight over and blocks that with authority.
Offensively, though, the middles have been there. Maggie Mendelson, team high 382 this season. The efficiency has ticked down a little bit as the night has gone along, but that is her 10th kill
and when they needed it too. I've always thought points after 20 and points in the fifth set, it almost seems like they count for double because it's a shorter race to the finish line. So getting them even that 1 point closer to Washington's 4 is important.
Martin does that for the Huskies. This year, Washington is just 1-3 in 5-set matches. They have not played a 5-set match in Big Ten. Interesting thing for the Huskies, they, before this one, had played 10 of their 16 matches this season in 3 sets. They have not gone deep a lot this year. Penn State is 4-1 in the 5th set, and Kennedy Martin averages 4.2 kills per set in the 5th. She has been incredible. The Huskies, though, have taken the early edge, 6-2. The attack error by Mendelson. It's a big early edge in a set to 15, but there is Martin. What makes her so good as the match goes along?
I think she's just found some rhythm. It seemed like she's connecting a lot better with the setter and maybe starting her approach at a more appropriate time. I felt like I saw her a lot early in the game, like starting her approach and then slowing it down or rushing those last 2 steps because she thought she had more time. And you know, you want a rhythmic approach, and when you can get that and the ball's still in front of you, you've got great vision to put the ball away.
Logs another one, and Penn State is just down 6-2. All of a sudden, it's 6-4. Cut that lead in half.
This is kind of the temptation as a middle blocker. Katie Wessel's one of the top 5 blockers in the Big Ten. She's working so hard to close that block that she almost kind of floats past it and opens something up. It's easy to do. It's hard to correct, but she's an excellent blocker nonetheless.
13th kill for Alexa Markley, a national champion last year with Penn State. It is also a double-double, her second of the season. Has 11 digs, but this was a big swing.
Excellent swing.
In the net for Zoria Hurd. Washington also getting a double-double from Simona Mateska, her 3rd in recent matches. Mateska, 11 kills, 14 digs, hitting .435. For Penn State, Kennedy Martin struggled early, but now is up to 16 kills on 123 percentage. Juravicius, 12 kills. Mendelson and Hopp have been pretty good offensively in the middle with a combined 18 kills. This is Martin. And Barton with the dig. Mateska to the ground.
I love that swing. I love that trust.
Markley putting on that double-double. As is Mateska with her 13th kill. It's remarkable when you think about how easy it could be to drop a few matches at some point and fall out of the rankings. It's never happened for Penn State since before we were both born. And Penn State with the block right there to try and get back into this after the Katie Schumacher calling timeout.
Huge block and very, very timely. 6'9", I mean, there's still time, right? If that point would have gone the other way, you start thinking, oh boy, it's, you know, when one team's in double digits, it's a little bit of that red zone, and it becomes much harder. Washington gives it right back. That's impressive.
We were looking for some stuff loss. We got him in the 5th set.
We did, and the fans love that one. I think we've got a lot of people on their feet, and I've always said I feel like a stuff block, it feels like it should be worth 2 points. In the 5th set, it emotionally does feel like 2 points.
8th Washington block as a team. Penn State has 3. Oh, that's the libero. Grimes with the kill. Oh, get out of here. Jillian Grimes was forced into that after Lyon set her inadvertently. And the junior libero gets it done off the tape.
And this is unlucky on so many accounts, but also it's more common than you think. I mean, Alexis Howry's kind of thinking, okay, this is a free ball. I can release to get ready to set. Someone will take. Kind of falls where she typically would be. It's unfortunate, but it's actually pretty common.
But there have been some really poorly timed missed serves for Penn State. That was Jocelyn Nathan with the team's 16th service error. That's just too many. I know you want to serve aggressive, but too many service errors for Penn State at key times. Julia Hunt to serve.
And Washington's kind of an offense, you know where the ball's going to go, so you almost like, do you just keep it in play, right? They don't use their middles a ton. They're working on using them more, and when they do use them, they're quite effective. But it seems like this could be a good team to dial back those service errors and just kind of make them play.
And a fit set change, it's a great point. And I hear that. I want to also point out Gabrielle Nichols is in there. I'll give her a mention. Little blocker for Penn State here in the 5th.
What's interesting when they put Gabrielle Nichols in, they did this against Wisconsin as well, they've done it a few times this year, is they're playing now without a setter on the floor. Am I seeing that correctly? So they do it for a blocking sub, and they essentially have 2 middles on the floor now. But they're going to just assume they're for sure going to be out of system. But it's a nice way to get a bigger block.
So Mendelson's playing right side. She just takes that set, and it's working for Penn State with the blocking sub in.
You get a middle who can serve, who can pass, who can set. Valuable.
Another killer missed serve coming off a timeout by Jordan Hopp. And now Grimes will come back in at libero, and so will Lyon at setter as Penn State goes into serve-receive mode against Alexis Howery, the sophomore former Oregon back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year. Martin, she likes to run that route behind the attack line from the middle, but with a key miss late.
We'll see what they see. I've been wrong all night.
Oh, man, it is going to be successful. And then took the first 2 sets both in blowouts. Penn State's come all the way back, looking for the reverse sweep, but Washington has had the control in the 5th. And it's been Markley. Now her 14th kill matched up with Barton for the team lead. Markley setting the tone against her former team in her first reunion battle with Penn State most of this night. Key moment for that.
And this is just such a high swing. Like, I am 6'4", and swinging against 6'4" and 6'5" blockers is uncomfortable, and she's making it look easy. Very confident.
Unbelievable play. It looked really difficult for Wessels to get that over, and Markley sends it down. Match point.
Piggyback to this line judge as she's walking across.
Maggie Mendelson extends the match. Penn State now needs 2 points on its serve to send it to deuce.
Beautiful clean side out here, just past that swing. And this is all you can do at this point is simple volleyball that you know you can execute at a high level. And that's what Penn State did.
5-set classic in Seattle. Overpass, Mendelson scores, and Penn State within 1.
Certainly Penn State has had a few more hitting errors tonight for sure.
17 service errors. Need this one to be in. That's what Faldudo does. Pass by Hurd. Markley is the one who ends it. It just makes sense that Alexa Markley scores the winning point against Penn State. Washington in 5.
I love that Howery went to her on game point. What an unbelievable match for Alexa Markley. Not just against her alma mater, but just in general, right? Like as a grad student, or, you know, a senior, whatever, as a veteran player,